What is up, gems? Thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Jerixa, aka Gem, aka your favorite hype girl with a camera. I apologize for the little noise in the background. Miss Sienna thinks she rules this entire apartment. So I apologize ahead of time for her little collar that you hear, or she's about to play with her scratching post. I got some new stuff on my wall. This whole wall, I feel like every video I film is going to be different. I can't seem to be satisfied with anything that I do with this wall. Other life updates, because I know you guys really, really like those. Sienna. Probably messing with something that she shouldn't be. Filming this intro. It is Valentine's Day. It's the day after my husband's birthday. It's also 2 days after the Super Bowl. This is going to be the third episode on my new series that still remains unnamed because I just cannot decide. I wanted to give you guys a heads up. We did experience a lot of Wi-Fi issues. There are going to be times where I just have like a still photo of us as opposed to you guys being able to visually see us talking. But the audio is great. You're gonna be able to hear everything that we discussed. And I really, really hope you guys are enjoying this series. I'm loving it. There's only gonna be about 3 more guests that I'm gonna have before I close out the series. The people that are on here, like I can't even believe that I've been able to contact so many amazing photographers from across the United States. It's amazing. Oh, another life update really quick. I have been super, super absent on social media. I've been learning to take a break from just my phone, period. And I really, really hope people can relate to this. I think being addicted to your phone is an actual thing. I think being addicted to Amazon is an actual thing that I also have going on. But I'm just learning to just step away from the phone, step away from emails. I unfortunately had a really bad week last week where I suffered a migraine for 5 days and I ended up in the ER because I could not take the pain anymore. It was horrible. And I also developed a very big knot in the back of my neck, which now that I'm feeling around, it has subsided a little, but it's just sore from me trying to massage it. So this is just me telling everybody, take a break, put your phone down, put it on Do Not Disturb. There's a reason why Do Not Disturb was created on our phones, and I think it's the best thing ever. Just take breaks, basically. This photographer that I'm going to be interviewing is from, where are we now? Oh, we are in New Mexico, y'all. She was just full of such great energy. Like I didn't even want to stop talking to her, but she's amazing and I can't wait for you guys to meet her. Her name is Genesis. You can follow her on Instagram right here. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Yes. All right, ready? 1, 2, go ahead. There we go. Hello.
We go. Hi.
Oh my God, I love your hair.
Thanks. My lighting is so bad in here. Hold on.
Okay, welcome. Thank you so much for taking some time out to talk to me. I feel like
Of course.
we should have done this such a long time ago. Like there's so many like Instagram friends and you're like, how did I even find this person who's on the other side of the world?
Oh, I know. I've met so many people on Instagram too. Like there's like freaking people from like Washington. I'm like, I would love to meet them one day. And then like you in Florida, and I have some friends in Florida too. So it's just like, it's crazy.
The world is so small. You are frozen. I don't know. Oh, there you go. You unfroze. All right, good. I was like, do we start again? Okay, one of my questions that I remember to ask is, how many kids do you have?
I have one.
Okay, you have one kid.
Just the one.
Are they like nap time right now, or?
My kid has not napped since she was 1. I can't get her to nap. Like it's always been like that. She's never slept. So I've always just had her like with me or on me, or like I was holding her.
Oh,
but
I love that. Okay.
No. It's terrible sometimes. I'm just like, girl, go sit down. Like earlier, but I was like, okay, I need to hop on my computer, so I'm gonna like start doing stuff. And then I was like, okay, you need to stay over here, be quiet. And so she was watching a movie, and then it was like really loud. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. I was like, do you want to paint? So we went to the craft room, and I put her some paint. Well, she finished that. She was bored within 5 minutes. And then she's like, Mama, I'm bored. Are you done with your call? I was like, it hasn't even started yet.
What are the challenges of being a mom and being a photographer?
Honestly, the schedule. I think that's one of the biggest one. I have to work around my husband's schedule or my mom's schedule, so I have somebody to watch her because I'm with her 24/7. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so she doesn't go to daycare ever. I only trust my mom and my husband and now my cousin to watch her. So, but they all work. So it's stressful having to juggle like scheduling and stuff like that. I mainly do most of my stuff on the weekends because my husband's off, but then I don't see them all weekend and then he goes back to work. So it's a lot, but
It's a lot to balance.
yeah, it's a lot.
I don't have kids yet, and right now I just view my business as my baby, and I get a lot of slack for choosing to chase this rather than starting a family. And I'm like,
no, do your thing, whatever works for you. There's no time limit. I hate when people put a time limit on other people. They're like, you need to have kids. Like, do I?
for it, like, do I like, or my thing is like, right now I need to have them, like I have to have them right now. So
do your
I
thing
like
first.
to,
Do everything you want to do first, and then think about kids. And if you never have kids, then you never have kids. Like people think, oh, you're not going to be fulfilled without children. Like you can be fulfilled other ways. So, you know what? I know a photographer here in El Paso. She has 5 kids and she just had a newborn and she's already back going. Like she goes baby strapped to her and everything. She's a super mom, really. Her name is Marshall Focus.
That's awesome.
So a lot of the photographers around here are moms and they all still do what they do.
It's just different. Like you said, like you just have to map your schedule around when you have someone to watch the baby. And that's not going to last forever because she's going to grow up and you're going to be able to be like, hey, I'll be back in 2 hours. I have an engagement shoot. And she'll be like, sweet, can you order pizza? And that's it.
It was super hard at the beginning because I was breastfeeding her like exclusively. So I couldn't be gone longer than 2 or 3 hours or like it would hurt. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so
wow.
that was hard at the beginning. And then now that she's not, she's good while I go do weddings, whenever I leave her with my husband, they have like a whole father-daughter date and they go to like Peter Piper Pizza and they go have fun. So yeah, it's different as the stages as she gets older, the stages get different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, you're so much more than a mom. So let's go past that because that's not the only thing. I was on your website forever because it was probably one of the prettiest websites I've seen in a really, really long time. I was like, look at the colors. Like, it was so fitting. I was like, this is her personality through her website. Like, I could feel your energy that you give out on Instagram through your website. It was gorgeous.
Oh, that's so cool. That's what I strive to do. But honestly, I thought about like changing it completely, and then I just changed it into more colorful. I don't know. Because I'm like, oh, well, I need to, market for my ideal client, so I have to have like the bland colors or like the neutral colors, the whatever. But I can't. I tried and I was like, okay, maybe if I make this one a little lighter and then this one got brighter and then this color got brighter. And I was like, well, never mind.
Well, here we are. I feel like your clients can pick up on your personality right then and there. So I think that's awesome.
I was hoping it wasn't like too much, like, oh my God.
No.
What does this woman do?
Oh, it was so good. All right. So how did you get started in this industry? What made you pick up a camera in the first place?
So funny story. So my husband actually liked taking pictures of things. I never really cared. Like I liked taking pictures, but it wasn't like, I could see myself doing this. And I did a lot of things, I was actually going to school to be a vet. I had like 2 years
Wow.
left until I could start applying for vet school. Yeah. And so my husband wanted a camera, and I was like, I got all my family together and I was like, hey, let's pitch in and we'll get him a camera, because he really likes to take pictures. So we got him a Rebel T7i. And so he got that, and he never really got to play with it because he was working a lot. So I was home with her, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take pictures of my kid, because I was
Why
broke,
not?
everything was expensive, obviously. And so I was like, I'll try taking pictures of my daughter. So I did the whole like month by month pictures, the 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, all that. So then that was my camera. And I was like, sorry, babe. And then I didn't start, it was mainly just of my daughter. Like I would just take pictures of my daughter, our family, the dogs. And then we moved here to El Paso. And then I started doing the setups here because she was 6 months when we moved here. I started with mini sessions. So I did the watermelon minis,
Oh,
and that was my first mini session.
is it on your
That
Instagram?
was my very first. I don't think so. I think it took it
Oh,
off long time ago, but
I
I
was
might
like, oh
have
my
it on
gosh, I
my
want to see
Facebook
that.
still, to be honest. And so I was like, this is cute. I was talking to my husband. I was like, this is cute. Do you think anyone would pay for this? And he's like, yeah, maybe just put it out there. But I was like, I'm gonna put it out there. So I put it out there, and a couple of people signed up, and that was like my very first thing. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna start a whole name for it. It's gonna be strictly minis because I only wanted to do mini sessions. I don't know why, but I was like, adults are too critical, and I don't want them to hate my work. So I only wanted to work with kids because they're cute. It's easy. It's not easy to work with kids.
It is not.
So my literal business name was Strictly Minis Photography. And then as I went on, and people were asking me like, do you do family sessions? Do you do maternity? I was like, well, no, not really, but I could try. So I had my first family session, and from there I was like, okay, I need to put something else, for my name, because I'm not just going to do Strictly Minis.
Yeah.
So I used to have a baking business kind of thing in San Antonio. I made pumpkin rolls, chocolate rolls, anything you could make into a roll, I made it. And they were so good. Yeah, Rebel rolls. So I was like, I need to do something like that, like Rebel, because I also had a bow business. Jesus, listen to me. But no, that one was called Rebel Crafts and Creations. So I was like, okay, I need to do something like Rebel, but like not Rebel. So I was like, how about Wild Child? And then it just kind of stuck. So ever
I
since then, I haven't changed my name.
I love that. Do you ever
But
get
my
nervous before a shoot? Like I get nervous before every single shoot. Every single shoot I have an anxiety attack.
I I still get nervous for every shoot too. And I'm like, why? Why? Because as soon as I get in there, like it goes away like that. It's so weird. Like
Instantly.
yeah, it's like you show up and you're just like, all right, let's do this, and then you just go into mode and it just does it.
It's crazy. I'm like, is this ever gonna go away?
I know. Even before, like, well, weddings are huge. So whenever I do weddings, I'm just like, and then I do
Oh
it
yeah.
and I'm like, it's fine.
Are you a more of a natural light photographer?
Yeah. I
Yes.
learned how to do flash because I liked the way the sky looked. So when I did this, I dove into all kinds of research I could. Like, how do you use flash? How do you expose for the sky? How do you do this? Like, I was on YouTube till 4 o'clock in the morning, just watching videos of how people do it, learning all I could because I'm completely self-taught.
Yeah.
Like,
I
learned
was
any
gonna
of
ask
this
you.
anywhere else.
I was gonna ask you, did you for this?
Yeah, no. So it was all self-taught. I just kind of taught myself as I went, learned manual, learned flash. And for a long time, honestly, my flash was kind of my safety blanket because I liked to expose for the back, but I was like missing them.
Okay.
So I learned flash and I would use that all the time. Like it was never off of my camera. And then finally I started taking off my camera, my flash because I knew how to do the whole exposure thing. And And so, yeah, I just kind of went from there. But I still know how to use Flash a little bit. I'm not great at it, honestly, but it's enough to get me by in certain things. With weddings, I learned a lot more with Flash.
When did you shoot your first wedding? Like how many years were you in when you shot your first one?
My first wedding was last year.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So
So new.
yeah, I was like, I really want to shoot a wedding, but I had no wedding experience, So nobody here needed a second shooter. So I was like, well, I'll just put it out there. Like, if anyone wants to do it, I'll do it. And honestly, I was so scared. It wasn't too bad, actually. I got there and it felt like a normal session. Like, my husband's like, okay, just think of it as a really big family session. And he's like, it's just a big family set. And I love candid. Like, I could just sit there and follow people. Like, it's kind of creepy, but I could just follow people around, taking pictures of them. Oh, like, don't look at me, just do your thing and I'll be here. And yeah, it wasn't too bad once I started shooting it. He was with me. He carried my bag everywhere, but that's about it.
Oh my gosh.
So I went straight to lead.
I love
So I
that.
went straight to lead photographer, and yeah, he was there with me. He's like, do you need any batteries? And I was like, no, I'm good. I'll let you know. He's really behind me in this. He's like, you know what? You obviously love this. For a long time, I never called myself a photographer. I'm just some chick with the camera. Like, for a long time, it took me to actually say out loud, I am a photographer. You know what I mean? And that sounds weird, but it was just something in my head, I guess.
No, I completely understand.
So
Now it's like when I meet new people and they're like, so what do you do for a living? And I'm like, oh, I'm a wedding photographer. I can't stand when the response is, so what's your real job? I'm sorry, I
oh
make
my
real
God.
money. You know
You're like, I make good money.
what I'm saying? Like, it takes you 1 month to make what I can make in one wedding. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You know what? Honestly, I've noticed that those people are really jealous of people who get to be creative their whole life, like, or they don't have the drive to do it, because it's not easy. Like, there's people who are like, oh,
Hi, guys. So that's where I'm going to end this episode. There is going to be a part 2. I did put up a poll on my Instagram asking if you guys would like a longer video or to split it into 2 different parts. And you guys voted to split it. Why do I feel like this is crooked? Is it crooked? I'm not redoing this video. This is the 3rd time I record this outro, so we're going full speed ahead. I wanted to end on that note because I know that there are other photographers out there who have felt the same thing that we have. So I wanted to end off on there, and then we'll pick up next week on how me and her got deeper into this. We also get into our mental health because I am a big advocate on mental health. I'm gonna try really, really hard to get the next episode edited. I'm literally working on it as we speak. And I'll see you guys next week for part 2. Wow. For part 2 of this interview with Genesis, aka Wildchild Photography.